If you accept all the inflation level pay rises, that's about £28 billion. It costs every household just short of £1,000.
Well, imagine the shock when he finds out just weeks ago the Conservative government crashed the economy with its plans for unfunded tax cuts for the rich and blew a £30 billion black hole in the country's finances. That would have covered all the pay rises he's now saying the nurses, the teachers, the railway workers can't have. The government wants workers to fill the hole it's created in the country's finances through its negligent mismanagement of the economy, but says workers can't have a pay rise to help them do it. Well, absolute bollocks to that. And all this comes on top of a decade of soaring food banks, homelessness, poverty and wage stagnation under successive Conservative governments.
The starting salary of a nurse would be £31,000.
It's just complete bollocks, and he knows it. A newly qualified nurse earns about £27,000 a year, and thanks to the Conservative government scrapping the nurses' bursary, which had previously reimbursed their tuition fees, they now qualify tens of thousands of pounds in debt. And sit down for this next bit. In a press statement on November 13th, the Health Secretary wrote, "A newly qualified nurse will now typically earn over £31,000 a year, including overtime and unsocial hours payments." The simple fact is the government gave nurses a crappy real terms pay cut last year, a crappy real terms pay cut this year. It wants to give them a crappy real terms pay cut next year, and all that's on top of a whole decade of crappy real terms pay cuts. If nothing else, at least they're consistent. Nurses are now using food banks and taking out payday loans to feed their families. Some experienced nurses have actually seen real terms wage cuts of as much as 20% since 2010. It means they're now effectively working a day a week for free.
We've accepted the pay review body.
Even Larry the cat now knows it's just a mechanism that's being used to replace collective bargaining for certain groups of employees in the public sector. The government handpicks the members and sets the remit, and then they just come back with a crappy real terms pay cut.
We have to come together. This is not a time to be divided, to, I hope, send a very clear message to Mr. Putin that he can't use energy as a weapon in this way, and we will remain united, which is why we've accepted the pay review body.
It's absolutely ludicrous. He's now suggesting the way to send a message to Putin is for MPs to slap themselves on the back with a £2,200 a year pay rise, uncapped bonuses for millionaire bankers, and workers accept a crappy real terms pay cut.